Alright guys, so what we're going to do here is we're going to watch the new Mass Effect trailer and see if we can find some little secrets. Now I have watched this a couple times, but this will mostly be a live commentary, and so I will get some things wrong. I do recommend that everyone go visit Biofan, Lady Insanity, GamerMD83 and Ability Drain, the usual suspects for anything Mass Effect. But let's see if we can spot some little things of our own, and let's enjoy it along the way. The game does look absolutely amazing, and I just simply can't wait to play it. Alright, see how it goes.
Mass Effect Andromeda is the next generation of action RPG.
Yeah. No way this is home.
One thing I do want to point out here is one of the things I am loving at the moment about Andromeda is the aesthetics of the environments. Like, I'm loving the look of these little viney plants glowing and all the mist in the background, floating rocks. Everything about it is just awesome. There's another one coming up a bit later with more of a forest area to it, but as far as wanting to bring back that exploring vibe that the game used to have in Mass Effect 1, granted the planets there were pretty bare, but I still wanted to get out in the Mako and explore. This sort of stuff is really making me look forward to the Nomad and exploring again, so super hyped about that.
Brand new epic sci-fi adventure.
Now, we do know, well, we don't know anything really, but this does look like an outpost. There's several buildings all over the place around here. But as for what this giant ring is, I I wouldn't even be able to guess. That, for all I know, could be some part of the alien technology that they're investigating, but it does seem very odd to build a building in the middle of it. So it'd be interesting to see what they do there. One thing I do want to point out is this giant building in the background up here. That looks like it's part of the new alien threat. What is it? The Remnant, I think they're called, and we see this periodically throughout the trailer, multiple versions of this on multiple planets. So maybe we're building our own personalities. It stands to reason that we are investigating them. We do sort of know that. So
Adventure set in a vast explorable galaxy. You are the Pathfinder, part explorer, part soldier.
see, this is the one I was talking about here. Like, look at this. Look at this lush forest. Beautiful. Absolutely amazing. This is the type of environment I love, and I really can't wait to get going in this. I do like that they've added environmental effects with rain. Like, those little details to me really add a little bit of immersion to it. You can see what appears to be some kind of outpost through these trees up here, and that does look like another one of those structures. So, a bit interesting to see what we can take from that.
Part guide. And it's your mission to find.
Now, here's another one as well. So we've obviously got that big outpost dead square in the middle. There's also a water geyser over here, which is really cool. I love little things like that. Big alien building once again in the background. Very interesting. And I want to know what these are. Like, if I was to take a guess, I don't think they're necessarily helping with construction. Maybe that's some sort of atmospheric thing. I don't know. Don't know. It could honestly just be something they added because it looks cool. But these are the sorts of things I do want to get answered.
Find a new home for humanity.
I love that new effect as well coming out. Alright, so we do have a system name, Gavorkum. Gavorkum? I'm probably pronouncing that really wrong. We do see this planet Kadara, and it does say M4 hunting the Archon. So obviously mission, this whole layout here is very, very reminiscent of Mass Effect 3 and previous Mass Effects. So very familiar with the rings and planets on there and the way the quests pop up. No huge difference, just it does look, everything about it does look beautiful though.
But in Andromeda, resources are scarce. Worlds are hazardous or outright uninhabitable. Every planet has its own story. On this one, warring outlaw factions fight over every available scrap.
Now, this particular shot I actually really like because I was watching the interview with I believe it's the art director or the head of the art department, and he talked about how what they wanted to do was give weight to the Tempest at the back so that the front of the Tempest is really light and could hang over the edge of cliffs, and you do see that in a lot of shots that they've put out, and this is just another one where that front of the Tempest is hanging over the front. I love the design of the Tempest from a pure look standpoint. It does not look like a military vessel. It does very much look like some kind of private elite scout ship. Kind of, if you were to compare it to Star Trek, you would say that it is a type of Enterprise ship in the sense that it's not designed for war. It can fight. It probably has guns. It has a lot of capabilities for fighting, but its main mission is to go between planets. It is a civilian ship.
You can make new allies or enemies. The choice is yours.
Not too shabby for folk who got...
Alright, so Turians, Krogans, confirmed, protagonist on the right. These weren't particularly shocking. I do believe that is a Turian female. Not quite sure, I could be wrong on that, but it seems to be from what I can see. And yeah, new characters. I do get the feeling these are squad mates, and we may have an answer to who one of them is later on in the trailer, but it's not much.
Kicked off the station with nothing to show for it.
Now, one thing I do want to point out while I'm here, aside from the cool sunglasses that are going on right there, is the bones. Look at the bones in this armor. I love this. And one of the things we are going to see, just in a few shots as well, is the amount of customization on the armor that a lot of the NPCs have. Really excited for that, and I do hope that we are able to see some of these unique patterns make their way to the main player character. It would be disappointing if we can't. Like, obviously you do want NPCs to be somewhat unique, but showing these variations, it shows you what they can do with their art department, and it would be such a shame if the main player character's armors were just your usual fare for armor. So we'll see what happens there. We do get a couple screenshots later on of different variations of armor.
All I see is the trail of bodies they left behind. Sam, tell me about Sloane Kelly.
Well, we have the good old transport ship that we're used to. Now, the other one here too is you'll see a lot of these Krogan guards in the blue armor. I do not believe they're the Blue Suns. I'll pause it here as well. It could just be, for some reason, mercenaries like wearing blue, but it would be interesting to see if the Blue Suns do indeed make it over to Andromeda. That would be a hell of a story. The reason why I stop it here is we do have new aliens. These ones are all part of the same race. This guy looks like an Asari, so I'm not going to count that. But we're definitely seeing something new. This here as well also looks like a new alien. Not 100% sure, but the ones on the left definitely are very new. And it is possible that they are the new one that we briefly saw in the previous trailer, which I'll try and bring up.
She was involved in multiple altercations with other officers.
Another Turian.
A hothead. Great.
Another one of the new aliens again.
What brings a pathfinder to our humble port?
Venture Rev. Name ring any bells?
What's he to you?
Alright, so I was mentioning the customization on the armor before. Also, hairstyle. Love it. Bring more hairstyles into the game. But look what's going on around the neck, but also around the waist here with that lovely corset look going on. And the sash around the waist. Like, this is the type of things that I like seeing them add to the game. This level of detail. Obviously, I don't think we're going to be able to choose individual items like that on our armor, but it would be nice to see this sort of detail brought to our armor.
And don't lie to me.
Just point me to where you're holding him and there won't be any trouble.
There won't be.
Now, my favorite function returns, the interruptibility. I absolutely love this. It is nice to see that our protagonist is proficient with weapons. We did suspect that was going to happen, obviously, but it's nice to see that you can still play that badass that we are so used to.
Drop it now! You first.
Get out, or I'll put you down.
These worlds are big, so for the sake of time...
Alright, just a few small things to point out here. One, the Nomad is sexy as fuck. And two, we do have this little hologram down here, which I do believe is most likely going to relate to the health of the Nomad, because we do know the Nomad can catch on fire and I believe blow up. You also have controls and a speedo, because why not? So, also, that damn building again, from a different angle this time, so you can see it is slightly different. I really want to know what's in these. That it's entirely possible that that one isn't the same as the other alien ones, as it is. It doesn't quite have the same light on it, but I do think that's a reflection of the light on the outside. So I do still think that is one of the alien ones.
We're going to speed up our adventure.
We do see also a drop pod over here on the right. We will see one of these later on when we go to place a settlement.
There are many paths to follow on this planet, and you'll need everything at your disposal to survive. Whether it's a
That
six-wheel
boost,
drive
look at
Nomad,
it.
which protects you from hazards and enemies, or the scanning and analysis.
Alright, so we have a new scanning tool. As you can see, this is picking up footprints on the scanner. I really do love this. One of my hopes for Andromeda, and look, I could be applying too much expectation to the game. I am very much aware of that, but I do want the game to take a slightly more civilian approach to the, I guess you'd say the politics or the overall narrative of the game. I certainly would like to play more police officer, less military officer, in the sense that I want to be more interactive with the NPC community. As we are the Pathfinder, we are helping guide them. So I hope we get a lot of quests in this vein where we are investigating crimes that have happened. Shepard did occasionally do that, but that was always an ends to a means, or a means to an end, sorry. Whereas I hope this is just part of the core narrative, these sorts of things, where we really do have to make sure that peace is maintained. Interesting to see what it does. I'm completely happy with the scanner. It is, obviously it's a little bit gimmicky, but I don't mind that in the slightest. I love that they're adding this sort of thing in.
Tools to help you interpret everything you discover.
Alright, so we do actually have a bit of data here. So over on the side we can see that there's blood splatter, multiple DNA sources detected, 100% Krogan, 100% Angara. Now, not sure who the Angara are. I'm going to assume it's the alien that we've seen a couple times in this trailer already. We will see once more in an upcoming fight, and that was briefly seen in the last trailer. Could be wrong, could be anything. Could be one of the, well, it's not an animal. We know it's some kind of sapient species because it was possibly from knife slipping while prying open the Krogan's frontal plate. So it was attacking with a knife. So it's some kind of humanoid to some degree. So it'd be interesting to see if it is that one or if it's a completely different alien to begin with. So
look for anything that might lead us to the killer.
The tracks make it look like an ambush.
Fits the Rokar profile. It's a start.
Angaran blood. Matches your Rokar theory, Reyes.
alright, so protagonist has just said matches your theory, Reyes. So we know Reyes is a character of some kind, possibly a doctor, possibly some kind of CSEC or police officer. Either way, he's obviously helping you on the comms with this mission to the very least.
We need hard evidence.
In a dangerous alien galaxy desperate for resources.
Now, I am very happy to see these sorts of dropships making a reappearance. Very happy. Like, I really enjoyed the Mako and the Earth missions. Oh, not the Earth missions, the planet missions. I know they were a little bit monotonous. Planets were a little bit too boring, a little bit, shall we say, static. They were empty. There was nothing really there except for the points of interest that you knew about. Also, we do have that alien structure again. God damn it, we keep saying that. We know this is Kadara, and this is an outpost that we are about to attack. So let's see how they get that done.
Conflict is inevitable, but you'll have access to futuristic weapons, gear, and powers to help you in your fight for a new home.
Alright, so what we're about to see here, outside of the fact that they're using that awesome shotgun from Mass Effect 3, is the Vanguard power. So classes are not a thing in the traditional sense in this game that they were in Mass Effect 3, but still seeing this power make a return has me really happy. I played a Vanguard and I loved it. Look at that mobility. Alright, we see two things here. One, we see a new biotic shield of some kind that appears to be, I don't know if that's a toggle ability, say you hold down a button and you're able to do this, or if it's something you turn on. The one thing I will say is I don't necessarily see it being activated there. It could be this one at the front, though I still dreadfully hope that's an uppercut, which I'm probably very wrong on. I guess we'll see in a second if it comes off cooldown. But we do also see Sentinel armor, which Damn, that does look kind of cool. It's not quite the same. We don't see it on the back or the front plate like it was in Mass Effect 3, but maybe that's an upgrade or something along those lines. Or maybe that's an entirely different power and I'm just completely wrong. Interesting to see anyway. Okay, so well, that was a power because it has gone on cooldown. So that is definitely that power. The uppercut theory is completely nixed. Damn, I've just killed a lot of dreams there and I'm very sorry. Alright, so we see two Hydras dropping in. We also see special ammo types making a return. Now this here, this particular gun here, I originally thought was the gas shotgun. And I'm wrong. It's definitely not the gas shotgun. Well, I'm 90% certain it's not the gas shotgun anyway. We'll see it later on. It fires electricity and it looks kind of cool when it goes off. So let's continue. Now, when it came to them talking about the multiplayer, I was one of those people who was a bit worried because I actually really liked bunkering down and playing a really defensible game against a horde mode. That's my personal preference. I love those games. I'm completely happy with those games. One of the things they're trying to do now is they're trying to have a more mobility focused mode, so there will be specific enemies that will try their best to knock you out of cover, so you must move around the battle map more. I was a little bit worried when I heard this, like, because Mass Effect 3 wasn't that great when you tried to play completely mobile. You could get in a lot of trouble doing that, so I wasn't sure how well they would pull it off, but from what I'm seeing right now, especially this move here, I'm completely happy. They couldn't have done anything better to alleviate my fears. So let's watch him jump up to this tower. Look at that, what a move. Now the other thing is here, that is the new alien. So I do believe they're the same aliens we saw in the previous outpost. I do believe that is the alien that we briefly saw in the previous trailer. Maybe that is the Angara. Could be wrong. We do at the very least see that they are working with Turians and Krogan, so interesting to see what's going on there. Also take note of the companions. I do believe that this is a female companion of some kind, and that is actually Liam. I don't have a hell of a lot to base that on. It's one brief image later on, but I will point it out when it gets to it. So... Now, here we actually see the new knife weapon make an appearance. We have a better shot of it later, but it is actually, you can see it down there kind of, it is a pure blade. It's 100% material, it's there, it's used for attacks, like, it absolutely looks dead cool when it goes off. I'm so happy to see them bring this in. Like, the Omni Blades were all cool and all, but that thing is way cool. Alright.
Start out with the ship and the Nomad.
So here's that drop pod I mentioned earlier. I don't know if these just come down to help you harvest materials, or if this is where you craft, or if you bring this down to change inventory. Nice to see them around. Be interesting to see what sort of function they do indeed serve. But we do see this one run up and then it goes to the customization screen. Whether or not those two are linked, who knows.
Almost everything else you need, you'll have to find, steal.
Alright, so here we are. Up here you've got your armor, your weapon, guessing ammo, party members, and the Nomad. So, item limits. Damn, I hate item limits. I can't believe they brought that in. I guess I'm not shocked by that, but damn, I hate that. This person is quite poor. The Nexus, next level. The Nexus has a level? That's interesting. So maybe the Nexus is your kind of central city and you have to level that up with everything else. Could be an interesting gameplay mechanic, kind of like Skyhold. And I could be completely wrong. Interesting to see. We do know at the very least that you have helmet, chest, legs, and something else as far as customization options. Let's see if we go frame by frame, if that will bring it forward. So legs, arms, and it looks like that's the 4 types of customization. So nothing too shocking there. I'm not particularly upset with that. Obviously I'd love it if it was more detailed, but I'm at the very least not disappointed. So we do see quite a few different types of armor as well. Now let's just move forward a little bit. Okay, so here's the 4 types of armor. We do know that the red and black armor is the Pathfinder Sentinel chest. We will see that in just a moment. They will equip it. So let's move to that. There we go. Now, I do have a slight gripe with this armor. I know it's a very small thing, and perhaps it's meant to be there. If it's meant to be there, fine. But it doesn't seem to sit on the shoulders very well. Like, it looks like they float. If they're meant to float, great. But if they're not, like, it looks very weird to me. Also, what the hell is this thing? Someone tell me, anyone tell me. If it's a handgun, cool, because it looks awesome. But I don't know what it is. I've seen it in a few shots now, and I really wish to know what the hell it is. Alright, let's continue. Now, here's just more environment. I love this environment. I can't wait to explore around here. Lithium makes a return, not particularly surprised. And a new space monster gorilla thing that looks badass. Some new pet lizards, which maybe we can train them like Pyjaks, who knows. Also, this is a big one here. Assault turret with an awesome flamer that looks awesome. Now, part of the reason why... Also, Revenant making a return, and I just completely stuffed up that circle. I love this gun, happy to see it back in, and I'm also happy to see that they're bringing over a lot of the previous technology. I know that sounds like a small thing, but there's also always the possibility when you move to a new game that they will completely change everything from the old, whereas this seems to be paying a lot of homage to Mass Effect 3, especially the multiplayer. We do know that the squad mates in here are PB, and the funny-headed person that I couldn't identify, who we see here, I do believe that is Liam. So, I could be very wrong, but that is my interpretation of events. Feel free to tell me yours. Alright, so we just see up in the top right, this is part of the Settling Kadara quest. We've found an outpost site, which I'm guessing is here. We've got to address the rivalry between the Outcasts and the Collective. Be interesting to see what that is. And stabilize Kadara's environment. So, maybe when it comes to certain... we know certain planets have environmental hazards. Maybe there is a way to prevent those environmental hazards from being a thing, albeit some kind of small form of terraforming. Something else to point out, that damn alien structure in the background again. I need to know what's in those. That's starting to get to me now. Awesome fatalities. Goddamn. Alright, what we're going to do now is we're going to go a bit more frame by frame for the rest of this video, because there's a few things that I want to show off. Most important at the moment, Vetra's loyalty mission. Deal with guards. I don't know who this character is. I'm sure some of the other people probably do. If they do, great. But from what I'm seeing, I'm thinking maybe it's the Turian. That's probably the best I've got. Also down here we see... Now, to me, I believe this is an upgraded version of the Faestrum, the Turian weapon from Mass Effect 3. I don't have a hell of a lot to base that on. Its look reminds me of that, especially the light in the center of the gun. I could be very wrong. We see what appears to be, I'm thinking, female human squad member and the female Turian. Also, N7 on the helmet. God love it. Alright, so let's go frame by frame here and watch the awesome new shield come up. So I love that we can create barriers. That's once again, it's a holdover from Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. More than happy to see that stuff come in. Also a beam weapon, and we do see Incinerate come back in awesome fashion. Now we do see this lovely biotic power that jumps from enemy to enemy. So let's watch this again, and it will jump to the next one. That does remind me of, it was a Dark Plague. I can't quite remember the name of it. It was the one that was brought over by the Prothean. And look, more than happy for any of these new powers to make its way in. Also, PB's mysterious remnant signal. I do believe, I have nothing to back this up, just a feeling. I do believe that this is the mission we saw from the PlayStation 4 gameplay reveal. Could be very wrong, just, I don't know, something in me says this makes sense. Also down here, this particular weapon, that to me looks like the, I think it's the Endar the anti-synth rifle, which I think was made by the Geth. I could be completely wrong on that, but something about the front of that weapon really reminds me of that as well. We also see squad members being what appears to be female human and Phoebe, so loving that. Now this particular shot here, which I'll get to the end, something about this whole scene makes me feel like maybe this is us leaving the sibling behind, or this is us being left behind. I could be wrong, this could be us getting dropped off somewhere, who knows, but I don't know, the scene, the rain falling, the Tempest flying away, it just to me that's the feeling I got when I watched it. It really struck me as a sort of, I don't know, an ominous feeling that the Tempest is leaving, something bad is about to happen. Alright, one thing I want you to see here is Salt turret is on the left. Now, what we're going to see is this radar is actually going to get pulled and is going to be brought up here into the range of the turret, and let's see that happen. So let's... Okay, first things first, that is awesome. That guy got charred like all hell, but the fist keeps being clenched. Maybe we have the ability now when we grab someone to control them in the air. Maybe not. It's just maybe that's just part of the power, because it has a duration. You need, your character will hold the hand like that. Also, this is still part of Vetra's loyalty mission, so let me run. We have an observer. We have lots of those alien buildings. This is once again back on PB's mysterious remnant. We're seeing a lot of bounce back between those two. We also have my favorite drone in the world making a return, and this rifle. Very cool. Once again, I'm still getting an anti-synth feel from that, but could be very wrong. We're seeing what appears to be female protagonist and guessing Liam. That's just my theory. Alright, here we're seeing that awesome planet with those cool plants. We do see the crashed transport shuttle, which we have seen before, and in the background we see another one of those damn buildings. So, not really sure what's caused this. One interesting thing though, I would believe this is fairly early in the game, as we only have one companion and one power. So, if I was to take a wild guess, I would actually say this is from where the Hyperion gets attacked and crashes, and this is where you fall out of the ship. So that's just my theory. I actually have a theory which I wish I'd put out about what causes the Hyperion to crash, but that's something for another day, maybe. Okay, this stealth, oh my god, this is the coolest effect on stealth I have ever seen. I love the way it goes into stealth. So before I go any further, I just want you to just pay attention to that and watch that. So we do know that there is a Krogan contact out here. Visit Paradise on Aladdin. Aladdin, we do know, is the heat planet, which is highlighted by the fact that we have a heat hazard over here. Not too much by me is known about this planet anyway. Once again, the companions appear to be female and Liam. So, and this is an awesome shot. Once again, shield comes up, looks really cool. I do believe that's Anthony Synth Rifle again. PB's Mysterious Remnant, we're back there again, and we are waiting on hack progress and surviving an assault. I'm still feeling that particular mission, so yeah. Okay, so let's try and get... Oop. So we have an Anointed, we have a Ket on the ground. The Anointed is a Ket as well, we'll see that in just a moment. We have that rifle again, which I think is one of the Facian family. Now let's just try and go frame by frame here for a second, because this is the knife coming out again. Watch this bad boy. Oh, yeah. There's just no going past that for me. Absolutely love it. Alright, so we have the Tempest getting flown through. Just another cool cinematic. Alright, we have a Nullifier as part of PB's Remnant mission. Down in the bottom, I'm still thinking some kind of anti-synth rifle, who knows, man. One thing I do want to show you though is look at this melee weapon. This is something I did not expect. Look at that thing. I have no idea what that is, but it appears to absolutely demolish that shield. So, something new, something exciting. So, alright, we have a pariah. Don't know if that's a name or if that's like a named character or if it's just part of like a type of enemy. We also have a new handgun down there. I do not recognize that at all. Something about the circle that you see on the side here of the gun does remind me of, I think it was the Korean handgun, I think. Don't know, I'm drawing a bit of a blank on that one. We do see a quest up here, dismantle to investigate the remnant site, but also this one here, we've seen that before as well, the tent base alarm, use console to disable the alarm. This appears to happen when you attack an outpost, and it has a very Far Cry 3 feel to it, which I'm okay with. I was perfectly happy with the way that game did things. I don't mind them taking that essence. Alright, so here we are now. First off, we have seen this happen before. This was one of the first images we ever saw from the game, is this big jump up in the air and this knockdown effect, which looks absolutely awesome. There is a ket over on the side here, and it does have a very ornate headpiece, but it is not the crown, as it's been dubbed, that we've seen on the what appears to be the main bad guy anyway, that people are calling it. There's also a sphere here doing some kind of awful scary thing, and an anointed on the ground, which is still alive by that health bar, but not for very long, as we're about to see what happens to him. Look at this. Oh, boom. Look at that. Oh. Alright, not much to say about this particular shot. We do have what appears to be a cat there, judging by the green armor, the bone structure that we see. Nothing really unique. The one thing I will say, also particular attention to the sci-fi look at this place. It looks pretty damn awesome. But this is the gun I thought earlier was the guest shotgun. And let's have a look at what it does. That is definitely not a shotgun. That is all kinds of awesome and very sparky. So I can't wait to get my hands on that. I do like me some lightning. Anarchist, nothing unusual there. But, quest up here, fight a future for our people, secure the Krogan transport. Interesting to see where that goes. There's also Krogan squad member. Krogan squad member confirmed, if anyone ever doubted it. It is definitely one in the game. Now, I'm going to play the rest of this because this is awesome. I love that they've added these fatalities in. Yes, it sucks to die, but if you're going to die, at least it happens in style.
A new galaxy awaits.
Alright, so that was my rundown of the trailer. I hope you found something informative there. Definitely loving it, super hyped for the game. Really can't wait for it to come out. Definitely upgrading my computer for it, as well as it does look incredibly gorgeous. There has been a few small trade-offs. I do believe some of the textures on the rocks and things like that is a bit lower than we've seen from other Frostbite games like Battlefield 1 and Battlefront. But in saying that, the scope of this game is far bigger, and the other things they're accomplishing is way more impressive. So that is an incredibly small trade-off. From what I'm seeing of the story, I am hopeful. I was a bit worried when I heard about the game because Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 was such a treasured property to fans, especially myself, that messing with that and continuing on from it without Shepard was a very big concern. How do you follow that up? But I got to be honest, I got a good feeling coming out of this. I'm very happy with what I'm seeing. I haven't seen too much that has been outright negative as far as my opinions go. I've seen a lot of my original fears, especially the ones revolving around combat and the changes made to combat and mobility, be almost quashed by this trailer. Now, granted, all of this is still subject to playing the game. Seeing a trailer is not the same as playing the game, but at the very least, I'm hopeful. That's all I can be at this point. My expectations are trying not to go through the roof. I'm just trying to enjoy everything I see and take it as it is, but I do get giddy about this stuff. One thing I do want to say, and look, this is a bit of an open love letter to BioWare, I can't deny this. I've really loved the marketing they've done for this game. You know, they were incredibly quiet for a very long time, and that sucked so bad, it really did. But I can't blame them. The fan reactions that they've received to Dragon Age 2, SWTOR, Mass Effect 3's ending, it's just early marketing is just a way to get yourself in trouble these days, and that's really unfortunate. It's the sort of place where people will go, well, you told us that you were hoping to accomplish this and you didn't get it out, so that's you not keeping a promise. Well, this is now the world we live in, is that developers have to stay fairly silent until they're almost certain of the product they're going to release. So I can't blame them. But in saying that, since they've announced it, the Game Informer articles, and just seeing like special props go out to Aaron Flynn and Mac Walters, who uh, they they've really done an amazing job of just being open with communication. There's so many people, like seeing them on Twitter talking with the YouTubers every day, and the things that they've done for the YouTubers, like allowing them to do shirt giveaways and things like that to engage the community. That is awesome. That's what we want to see from companies that we enjoy. I couldn't be more thrilled to see this back and forth going on with them. And more importantly, one of the things for me is that when I see developers talking about a game, there are certain developers who, and I'm not naming names here, but there are certain developers who, when they play and when they talk about the game, it's a business. And look, that's not a slight. A job is a job, and everyone wants to do the best job they can. No one's setting out to make a bad game. But there's something to be said, for me anyway, that when I see a developer who is as passionate about a property as I am, then I really love that. Because I love when I see people who don't treat their work, especially artistic work like this, as just a job. It is a passion, and the guys at BioWare that we keep seeing in their interviews pop up, it's absolutely amazing the sort of passion that they take for this game, and the reverence and respect that they talk about it with. That's really impressive, because it's their property. In all honesty, they have every right to do whatever they want with it, but they really want to make sure that the fans are well serviced by a follow up to the original trilogy. That they pay a lot of homage and respect to what came before, while at the same time evolving. That is such a hard line to toe, and I worry for them, because the internet community can be so trollish and so abrasive at the best of times. So even the smallest slight could end in disaster, and I'm just happy to see them being so open to communication. And that is just that. I just had to say that. Like, for me, I love this particular company and I love this game, and right now I'm in a very happy place with it. I hope all of you enjoyed this and found something informative. If you didn't, throw some insults at me in the comment. If you did like it, please hit the like button, and if you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe. And beyond that, I'll see you later. Have a good day. Bye.